When it comes to like public speaking and debate, I often feel like there are certain aspects that people don't get as to how to do it. The expectation is the cliched what you see, 10 hacks to be a better public speaker scenario. What according to you is are almost like best practices or things that people don't necessarily know enough of about these two?
So I think you got to separate one from the other, because in terms of public speaking, the first thing is you're speaking to a large set of people. You're not having a one-to-one conversation technically. And in that case, the first thing you must know is reading the room, right? I often turn and say that when a stand-up comedian walks in and they start with, how are you doing? Where are you from? They're reading the room.
Yeah.
So can you read the room in advance? Very often when I go for engagements where I have to speak, I walk the room. And I'm walking the room because partly I'm looking at the space, I'm looking at the people, I'm going into the coffee shop to see what the people are talking about, I'm going onto Twitter and seeing what the other speakers are talking about, right? I'm virtually eavesdropping on the other people who are around. So understand what the setup is,
Yeah.
right? Then preparation. Most people don't prepare. राइट सबको लगता है कि यार मैं तो बस माइक पे जाऊंगा एंड आई एम सर ऑरेकल एंड द मिनट आई विल स्टार्ट एवरीवन विल लिसन. ये नहीं होता है. द बेस्ट ऑफ पीपल,
I've done this. I know.
And it's so important. So preparation is only about, I often turn and say that the preparation can be as small as saying what are the 3 things you want to leave them with, right? And in advertising, as they always used to say it again, say it one more time.
Yeah.
So even if you just know what your 3 messages are and you'll repeat them, you will land your message. So this is the setup, then the preparation. Then I often turn and say that define an engine. And when I say an engine is, what are you going to drive? Are you driving a Rolls Royce today or a Ferrari? Right? Are you going to sprint or are you going to be going easy? And it's almost for me, because public speaking is what I have made my name and fame and money from. A lot of it is about following some of these steps. After this entire thing of finding the engine, like I will often decide that today my analogy is going to be X. Right? So before coming here, why did I go and watch 5 of those small clips of yours? Because I just wanted to say, okay, what do they pull out always? That is preparation. That is also giving you respect for what you're doing, which people don't do. Right? So I think these are important things. The next thing in this entire thing along with this is, after you figured out the engine, is to go out there and figure out what is going to be your connection with the audience, which is very often engage.
Yeah.
So how do you engage? You engage by questions. You engage by telling stories. You engage by doing, quizzes. You engage by saying, how many people in this room are afraid of public speaking? You raise your hand and you see how many other people will do it or whatever. This is engagement very often. The next thing is clarity, right? कहना क्या है? This tale full of sound and fury signifying nothing is not what you need.
Yeah.
So clarity. Do you know? And again, very often people say, but how do I know clarity? I said, if there was a press person sitting in the room, what's the headline they would put the next day? Think of it. Think once, saying, what's the headline you want to land in the paper the next day? Right? That is what is needed to a large degree. Humor is something that many people do not realize. So humor is a great weapon only if you know how to use it.
Yeah.
If you don't know how to use it, please avoid. Do not go.
Random jokes
down.
are not.
Don't do that. Listen. Keep listening. Listening can be visual. Listening can be from the ears. So visual listening is, if people are looking at their watches, your time is up because they have lost you. If people start coughing, in theater we were taught that if in a monologue somebody starts coughing, you've lost your audience, right? If people start looking all the way around, if they start yawning, if they start leaning back rather than leaning in.
Yeah.
Now, these I can now do because I scan the room. I'm constantly scanning the room to see what are people thinking, what are they saying, what are they doing, right? Whatever. So I think these are some of the lessons.
Yeah.
Storytelling, have stories. I hunt for stories. I have, my phone is filled with notes of stories on different kinds, small stories. What we call big S and small S storytelling, right? A small story is an anecdote.
Yeah.
But a big story is, oh my God, that was a story. I'll never forget that for the rest of my life. Having that in your repertoire really does help you. And right at the end, the important thing is, summarize things. So what I've just given you is speechless.
Yeah. I was just going through that. Yeah.
This is the formula that we had made in the early days of saying what it can be. But these to me are the tenets of public speaking to a large degree.
Yeah.
Debating
Yeah.
is you want to score a point. So debating very, very early, I remember there was a Greek philosopher who said there's thesis, there's antithesis, and at the end there can be synthesis. So there I am listening actively to what you're saying, right? I'm building my points. So I have a hypothesis. I will take your thesis and I need to break it down. If I need to win, I need to break down your thesis. So I must support it with facts. I must be able to quickly pick on things that you are doing. And debating can be purely semantic, right? I mean, I remember in college debates and school debates, you were sometimes debating the and or the or the comma. Saying because of the comma being displaced in the statement made by the proposition, we are... पर वो that is for the sake of doing it. अगर आपको actual debating करनी है, because देखो हमारी न्यूज़ क्या है आज? हमारी न्यूज़ डिबेटिंग है ही नहीं. One sided जज जूरी सब कुछ एक ही आदमी बन जाता है. So great debating, the art of great debate is points, counterpoints, rebuttals, respect such, and and वो तो है ही नहीं. मेरे इतने सारे दोस्त हैं which were actually all my batchmates who are almost on television as your big news debaters, and I mean or the people who run the news hours and stuff. And very often, I see them playing personas there. They are not those people.
Yeah.
But they're playing a persona because they say about, a nation which is so frustrated with inaction wants in 1 hour that you convict them, you kill them, you murder them, you ferret them there. Because that's what they're acting. But that's not a debate. A debate has two viewpoints.
Yeah.
Which is important. And what you beautifully said, respect.
Want more such insights? Make sure you check out the full episode.